So, coming back to the inner knowing, I went a bit off the path, and that's also something very Gemini like. And my Mercury is in Gemini, so my mind is going to all the places right now, especially in Gemini season. And I love this about me because I can just, go everywhere and also nowhere and deep. But yeah, also just talk about anything that comes up. But yeah, I'm here to talk about the inner knowing. And where I started was the inner knowing is the place that becomes more present when we choose to be more present with ourselves, with our emotions, the stories, patterns, sensations in our body. Whenever we really tap into this present moment, and this is definitely a lifelong practice. It is something that comes natural, but it needs to be remembered. It's a part of ourselves. It's always there, and the ability is also always there. We just got a lot, I would say, we got distracted along the path of knowing ourselves, of knowing what is true to us. And there are different tools to tap into the knowing. And we can start with something like becoming more aware of our needs, becoming aware of our strength. But at some point, we also want to come through a gateway that is more connected to feeling and sensing, being and observing, and definitely, most importantly, listening. And this is something we can practice. It's something that we practice together every time we sit in ceremony, when we practice yoga together. It's something that we practice in our retreats, in my upcoming retreat, in the retreat that will happen here in September. So why is the inner knowing so important for us, for our path? I think you have the answer already inside of you, so maybe taking a moment to pause this video. Why is this important to you? Why do you want to know yourself and your truth? What does it even mean for you, your truth? Because I talk a lot about I want to live more in alignment with my truth, or I want to express my truth. And what is that actually? So the truth that comes from our inner knowing is something, could be something like, I know what I need, I know what I'm longing for, I can sense a direction coming from within, I know what I need in each moment. I'm able to tune into my body, my body's language, my heart's language, a combination of both. This can mean like feeling, or sensing a restlessness or excitement through your heartbeat, or something that feels like closing or like, limiting, and going from there, and letting your body, your body's wisdom, your heart speak. And the inner knowing becomes more present as soon as you choose to take responsibility for yourself, if you choose to listen to yourself. And this includes all the parts that are also uncomfortable, that come up whenever you sit in silence. So reflecting what silence means for you is also a big thing that helped me become more honest with myself. And maybe even asking what's distracting you from listening, from sitting with your emotions, because the inner knowing wants to be heard and seen. There are just so many layers maybe around it, so many barriers, because we learned, or you probably also learned, to focus a bit more on the external world, more on the structures that are there, the systems that are there already, and how to fit in. And then the inner knowing slowly becomes less present, or almost feels like it's hiding, because it's something very vulnerable and subtle, and it can be a great force when you make space for that, but it can also feel very gentle and soft, depending, yeah, how you tap into it, and how how connected you feel to your truth, and how it's informing your life. So a practice for you could be journaling about, what is my relationship with silence, what is my relationship with listening to yourself, but also listening to others. For me, it started, actually, I think I should listen a bit more, instead of speaking all the time. And that became less a judgment or a criticism, and more like, actually, I want to listen more, because then I'm more present and I'm not trying to reply or answer in the same moment someone is talking. And listening to others helped me also to practice listening to myself. So there's no right or wrong where you start, where you come from, where you go. And if you have any questions, let me know.